Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Angel Lydia. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So in today's video, my topic is 5 small feminine habits that will change your life. So before I get into it, I really want to say that a lot of times us as women, we see things on social media where we see other women doing certain things that we think is very feminine or feminine attributes from other women. And we think that we're gonna try to copy it or try to mimic that to get the same result from as that woman has got. Or to change our lives just because of an aesthetic that we've seen online. But really, I want to get into these 5 habits because I feel like this is more so on healing yourself and not just copying something that you see online and thinking that it's going to make you feel more feminine or make you feel more validated as a feminine woman. And sometimes we compare our lives to someone online, but you don't know the time that they have. For example, they might have all the time in the world. They might not have certain jobs, so they can do what you cannot. Or, for example, we might see certain things where someone's waking up at 5:30 a.m., going to the gym and doing all these things, but our life does not accommodate for that. Or maybe they're able to wake up at 5 a.m. and do all these crazy activities, these crazy feminine activities, because they've been doing it for years now. And we're comparing our day 1 and day 5 to their day 1000. So I really want you guys to remove all of those feminine activities or feminine things that you should do. Just remove that out of your head when you're watching this video. Watch it as if it's your first video on feminine habits. Not saying that those things aren't good, but I feel like these 5 habits are guidelines for you to incorporate those other things that you've seen on social media into your life. These are guidelines to help you so you don't overwhelm yourself. Okay? So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So my first feminine habit that's going to help you embody the actual feminine is to be gentle with yourself. As you can tell from my whole lecture that I just did in the intro, when you're gentle with yourself and soft with yourself, you are your own friend. As a feminine woman, that reflects in your life. Even before in my life, I realized that I would talk to myself so bad. My self-talk was so horrible. If I didn't wake up at 6:30 a.m., for example, if I said that I'm just gonna start waking up at 6 and going to the gym every morning because I need to have the most sexiest body ever. And then whenever I didn't do what I said I'm going to do, I would beat myself down. I would say, oh my God, like I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not feminine. I'm not this, I'm not that. Like I would literally beat myself down. I did not need enemies. I did not need bad friends because I was that bad friend for myself. I was the enemy of myself. When I tried certain classes that I felt like other women were doing, and it was a lot on my body, I just beat myself down. Whenever I saw these cute feminine activities that I wanted to try and then I never got around to do it, I would beat myself down. I would say, you're not that feminine girl. I would just hold myself to all the standards that other people had for themselves, or something that maybe they built up for themselves. And I was thinking that if I didn't do it, then I'm not a feminine woman. I'm not soft. I would just beat myself down. I was not gentle with myself. If I didn't get this exact goal that I wanted, I would beat myself down. I would say the worst things to myself. And as a feminine woman, you want to be very gentle with yourself. When I created that switch and I decided that I'm going to start being gentle with myself, my whole world changed. My whole view of all these feminine practices that I saw other women doing, it changed. I realized that, okay, if I am not able to do something this week, even if I set an extreme, like I would literally just say, okay, tomorrow I'm not going to eat any more meat. That's it. And I realized like after 2 months, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. This is not for me. And then I would beat myself down for not continuing with it. But now, even if I say to myself, I want to change something, and if I realize that I'm not able to do it, I am still gentle with myself. I'm like, okay, it's maybe that's not for you. Let's find something that is for you. And you want to be gentle with yourself as a feminine woman, because when you are gentle with yourself, other people can see that. And as a result of other people seeing that you're gentle with yourself, they are also gentle with you. The world is more gentle with you because you are gentle with yourself. And you are creating that space, that bubble. And you know what? Now, what I realize as a result of being more gentle with myself is that if I go out there and people are horrible to me, at least I have a safe space. I've created a safe space for myself where I am not horrible to myself. I feel comfortable with myself because I've created a safe space for myself. I am gentle with myself. If I don't achieve a certain goal in the set time that I put for myself, I'm still gonna love myself. I'm still gonna be gentle with me, because guess what? I only have me. In this world, I only have me. Yes, I have my family, and I love them and they love me. But I wake up with myself in the morning and I have to go to sleep with myself. This is your life. You have to take control of your life. You literally only have yourself, honestly. You only have yourself to live with for the rest of your life. One short thing that you have in this life is that you have yourself for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. So you can choose to be gentle with yourself and build a safe space for yourself, or you can make it toxic where you have no safe space in this world. Imagine if we don't have a safe space even with ourselves. How insecure would we be? When I look back at those times when I did not have a gentle action towards myself or a gentle behavior when it came to me, I was so insecure. I was so insecure because I would look in the mirror and I would look for every single insecurity and I would just criticize myself. But now, because I'm so gentle with myself and I actually love myself, when I look in the mirror, I'm actually looking for things that make me beautiful. The same body that I was looking at and saying, oh my God, you have fat here and fat there. With looking at that same exact body, I see myself so differently. I see myself more sexy, more gorgeous, like more beautiful, because I'm just looking for things that make me beautiful. And when you start being like that with yourself, your body naturally works with you. Literally, it naturally works with you. So I don't want you guys to over fantasize about doing all of these crazy activities, waking up at 5:30 in the morning and going to the gym every single day, eating 100 calories. Don't create those extreme toxic habits for yourself as a feminine woman. As a feminine woman, you are even putting yourself in a masculine energy by doing all those extremities all at once. You're creating a burden for yourself when you take on way too much. We're not supposed to create stress for ourselves. Things should flow and in a way that is healthy. If you do it in a bad way that's toxic, it's too much at all at once, and creating those high, very, very high or nearly impossible expectations for yourself to just switch and to just be able to just turn one day and start being this most athletic woman when you're not, and without finding what works for you and just following what these Instagram people are doing, then it defeats the purpose. Habit number 2 is to journal. And I want to tell you guys what's the feminine aspect of journal and what is the outcome that I'm looking for when I tell you guys to journal, is to create a voice of reason for yourself. As I said before, because I was so harsh on myself, I did not have that voice of reason. I would just say, if something did not go right, I would just think, oh my God, like I am the worst. I would take the blame for everything. So what I did when I started journaling is that if a situation happened, I would write it down and look at it from a third party's perspective. For example, when I look at the situation and read it out loud, I'm like, okay, there's no way that this is my fault. well, what can I do to change this? What is the best way to look at this? How can this benefit me? What can I change about this situation that's going to benefit me in the end? And honestly, I cannot take credit for all of this because I learned this from my therapist, where she was the one that told me to sometimes write down my feelings, write down things that you're feeling so you can be able to gauge and be able to help yourself. And I feel like therapy is one of the best things you can do. Therapy can teach you how to handle your life. A good therapist is not someone that's going to tell you what to do. A good therapist is going to make you equipped to help yourself. With my way of journaling that I learned from my therapist, it literally has changed my life. Because I've created a voice of reason for myself, instead of beating down myself for certain situations, I started thinking, for example, if I come in contact with a person that was just rude to me, instead of saying, oh my God, it's my fault, like I shouldn't have ever spoke to them, blah, 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 maybe I did something wrong, or I'm the problem. Now I say, well, I look at it from a third party's perspective. Like instead of going to my therapist now, I can help myself. I've created that voice of reason. I would say to myself, well, what did I say that could offend this person so much? Did I say something that crazy that could offend this person? Am I the sole reason that this person is angry? Maybe it's the possibility that this person has problems already on their own and they're just looking for someone to take it out on. And without me having to go to friends or anybody to consult with, I can already make the conclusion for myself. I can already put my brain at rest by just saying, by being able to be the voice of reason for myself. If someone is having a bad day and they take it out on me, I don't pressure myself and say, it's my fault. I can analyze the situation. Even if I have a boyfriend and he does something that's way uncalled for, or maybe he cheats, God forbid. If I have a person in my life that treated me wrong, I'm not going to blame myself. I'm going to become the voice of reason for myself. From my journaling, just writing down the situation, I can say, okay, well, this is what I did wrong, or this is what I could have improved, and this is what they did wrong and what they could have improved, and understand it. And understand it without beating myself up, without blaming myself for everything, without being so harsh with myself. I can be the voice of reason for myself. So even if you don't want to actually write down stuff, because I realized that it took me a while to get into journaling, guys, because literally I don't like to write all the time. I don't like to write. I'll do it occasionally. But if you don't even like to write, you can type it out in your notes app, or you can make a recording on your phone. There's like voice memos if you have an iPhone, or maybe Androids have a different app, but you can make a recording and literally state out everything and listen back to it. Remember, the point of this is so you can create a voice of reason for yourself. When you keep doing this and keep doing this with certain situations, that is what's going to build the voice of reason. The best way though is to actually write it down. There's something with our brains when you actually write something down on paper and read your words, it just does something for you. But that's not the only way. If you don't like to write, I completely understand. It took me a while to get into it, so I'm not going to blame you there. Moving on. Point number 3 is to have a treat yourself day weekly. What I've realized even with myself, like I like to put a lot of restrictions on myself, like don't eat this, don't eat too many carbs, or you have to eat like a lot of protein, you have to go to the gym, even though I haven't been doing it as much that I used to. But I would put these harsh expectations on myself, or you cannot go drinking, you cannot go out clubbing, you cannot go this. I would put these harsh expectations on myself. With these harsh expectations, as a feminine woman, you have to put a day in there where you can relax, where you can just literally nurture yourself, Whatever it is that you want to do that's going to make you feel good, make you feel happy, go and do that. Have one day weekly. Even if it's food and you want to be able to eat something that you're not normally eating every day of the week. If you want to eat ice cream, you want to go eat a cake, do that for yourself. You have one life. Do not create all these crazy restrictions for yourself and not give yourself one day to treat yourself. It can also be, if it's not food, it can also be that maybe you crave a spa. You can crave a spa, literally. So at least make it one day a week where you literally go in depth with yourself. You literally pamper yourself. You pamper yourself. That whole day is dedicated to you. Put that day in your regimen weekly. If it is that you want to go out with your friends to a nice restaurant and then maybe go paint in a park, whatever it is that you need to do, treat yourself weekly. It also is a reward for all your hard work. And I realized that with myself. I like to go have a spa, or I like to go get a facial or something like that. I feel like that is me treating myself. Also, I am a savory person. I'm not crazy about sweets. So I will go crazy for bread, even though I'm not going to eat it every day. So when I do give myself that day, oh my God, croissants better run. But really, like, I love bread. So I realized, like, I cannot eat a whole bunch of bread every day. But on my day that I spoil myself, I can eat bread. And then I realized I don't even need that much, because I know I can do it at least once a week. I can treat myself. I'm not telling you that you have to make your cheat day a day to eat, or your cheat day you have to go do a spa, or you have to pamper yourself. This is catered to you. Whatever it is that's going to make you feel like a woman, make you feel good, this day is catered to you. Stop copy and pasting things that is not going to work for you just because you want to fit the aesthetic of a feminine woman. Everything is not going to work for you. Everything is not going to give the same emotions to everybody. Maybe when I go and get a facial and I eat a croissant or some ice cream, I feel like a brand new woman. And maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe for you, you want to go eat some steak, or you want to go with your girls to the club, or you want to go with your girls to go hang out. Maybe that's what's going to make you feel good. But whatever it is, make sure it's catering to your needs, what you need in this life. What's going to make me happy is not going to make you happy. Of course, I'm not telling you to go out there and be a crazy person. You know, there's limits to everything. The whole point of the cheat day is to do something that's going to appeal to you. What appeals to me is not going to appeal to you. And that's why I can't come on here and say, you have to go to Pilates. You have to become a ballerina, or do dance lessons, or go painting classes. Everything that's going to make me happy is not going to make you happy. I literally picked up knitting for a while, and I realized maybe it's not something that I want to do forever. And I can't come on here and tell people, go pick up knitting. Maybe that's going to make you happy, but who's to say? Anybody that is going to come on here and tell you exactly what to do to make yourself happy, to make yourself feminine, do not listen to them. Do not listen to someone that tells you you have to go to Pilates to become a feminine woman, or you have to do these specific things that's going to make your life fulfilled. Never listen to them. What works for me possibly won't work for you, so find what works with your schedule. Habit number 4 is to take things one at a time, or step by step. I have this problem where I will say I'm gonna go cold turkey, and I'm going to maybe stop eating meat, or start going to the gym 5 days a week from literally not going, or I'm gonna wake up at 4:30 and go for a walk every morning. Like, I will literally create these high expectations for myself. Like, I literally go 0 to 100. And with those high expectations that I was creating for myself, I was never saying, okay, let's take it step by step. Or even, you know what? A big thing that I had a problem with was going to sleep on time. And I would say to myself, we're going to start going to sleep at 10:30. And it was crazy that I literally thought I could jump from 2 a.m. to 10:30 without taking it step by step. Like, the way to create patterns for yourself is to ease your way in there. What was effective for me was moving from saying, okay, let's move from 2 a.m. to 10:30. Instead, I said, one night, let's do 1 a.m. And let's move, okay, we got 1 a.m. down pat. Let's move to 12 a.m. 12 a.m. down pat. Let's move to 11:30. 11:30 down pat. 11. And if 11 is good, then we see where we can, we see where we can get. You don't put all that pressure on yourself, because when you don't achieve what you want to achieve, like if you don't go straight from going to sleep at 2 a.m., for example, in my case, and then going straight to 10:30, when it doesn't happen, you feel defeated. And that is the opposite of what you're trying to do. You're trying to even go into bed earlier to be more accomplished. But if you're going to put that pressure on yourself, it's going to make you feel defeated and make you feel discouraged, or make you feel like you can't do it. So you take one step at a time. Be gentle with yourself. Take your time with yourself. What rush are you in? Even if you accomplish 30 minutes earlier, that is something. That is a reward. Take your time with yourself. There is no rush. As long as you're even moving forward, it's better than taking 10 steps backwards. And that's what you do when you put this big expectation on yourself and you're not able to do it. It makes you feel so discouraged that you don't even feel like you're able to move to that next point. Even, for example, if you want to start going painting, take your time. Take your time. Don't think you're going to do it every single day. Don't think that you're just going to go and it's going to be great. Take your time with yourself. If you want to start going to the gym, take your time with yourself. Maybe start at 20 minutes. Then you can go to 30. Then you can go to 40. Take your time. It's not a race of who can do it the quickest, but it's who can actually build that routine. And routines come with perseverance. You take your time and build to that point where you already have that routine. It's built in and it's literally just a part of you. It takes time. And take that pressure off of yourself. Stop giving yourself these hard tasks and thinking you're going to be able to do it just in a second. Treat yourself as if you are a little girl. Literally treat yourself as if you're still that little girl. You're not going to say to a little girl, like your younger self, just cold turkey, you're going to start going to bed at 9:30, knowing that you are accustomed to going to bed at 2. You're not going to say to your younger self, you're going to start going to the gym 6 days a week. You're going to slowly, gradually build her up to get to where you want to get to her goals. You're going to slowly take your time and nurture her. And you want to do that for yourself at all times. Treat yourself as if you are a little girl. And that changed my life. It literally changed my life. I am happier. I am not as stressed out. I don't feel defeated. I don't feel like I'm my own worst enemy. I don't criticize myself. I take my time with myself. I am so gentle. Let's move on to habit number 5, which is build trust with yourself. All those 4 habits that I stated before is literally leading up to this 5th point. When you take your time, for example, if you give yourself a task and you break it down, instead of just thinking you're going to be able to do it all at once and feeling defeated, instead of doing that, when you take your time and you literally improve by little small increments, you are training yourself to start trusting your own word. For example, if you say to yourself, I'm going to start waking up at 7:30 a.m. every morning, and you normally wake up at 9, you're not going to start by jumping straight to 7, because it's just unrealistic. And even if you get there, you're not going to be able to keep it up without messing up, because your body's not used to that. Instead, you can jump from 9 to 8:30. And once you feel like you're steady at 8:30, you jump to another time. And from just jumping to 8:30, you're trusting yourself by saying, okay, I said I was going to make some changes. I can trust myself that I am willing to make those changes. And that builds rapport with yourself. You feel like you are trustworthy. If I tell myself I'm going to eat less carbs, And I told you guys before, I literally love bread. So if I minimize my carbs just by even a little, like even if I normally get a croissant in the morning or in the afternoon, and I start getting just in the morning, that's me building trust with myself and saying, okay, I realized that cutting the portion in half is me realizing that I am trustworthy. I am trying to minimize it. I believe what I say because I'm working towards it. If I say to myself, I'm going to dress more classy, and I try to minimize myself wearing shorter dresses, I don't have to go cold turkey. For the most part, I am dressing less provocative. Then I build the rapport with myself and I understand that, okay, I actually do things that I said I'm going to do. I'm actually working towards becoming that woman. It's all about you. The race is not with someone else. I always say on this channel that I am not in competition with someone else. I am not competing with other women. I am competing with myself, with my best friend, with my love of my life, and that little girl inside. I am working for her. I am on her side, even though I'm competing. I am on her side. My main focus is that she's happy, not just to get to the journey of becoming her. It's also making sure that I'm happy while I'm on the journey, making sure that I'm building trust with myself. What is to say, if I did, for example, didn't follow these habits at all, and I just literally transformed myself, what would be the whole point of getting to the goal of being able to do all of these activities, waking up 6 a.m., going to the gym, eating crazy healthy, and never taking a break from that and becoming that person, but then hating myself? Literally not having fun, not taking care of myself, not being gentle, just literally hating myself. That defeats the purpose. The purpose of me doing all those things is to make myself happy. So why would I put off happiness until I get to that result when I can be happy while working on it? So hopefully this makes sense. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I really hope you guys got something from this. I hope you guys literally, I want you to work on being more gentle with yourself. If you got nothing from these 5 habits, I want you to understand that. Understand that. Be more gentle with yourself while you get to the goal of becoming her. These 5 feminine habits literally guided me to becoming just a happier, even feeling more playful. It helped me to get to where I am now. Thank you guys for watching again. Leave your comments down below. I always answer comments. I always reply back, especially if it's something that I feel like I can help with or something that I feel like I'm learning from you guys. And tune in. Please subscribe. We're growing the family. You're welcome to join. There's no restrictions. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.